Hello everybody and welcome to today's patch notes for 2.7.0. Normally, I cover the various differences that come from the PTB, but this patch had no drastic changes that we didn't already cover in the PTB 2.7.0 patch notes video, so I'll just link that video in the description and move on with the rest of the stuff that came in to the current patch. Along with the release of this patch, several players were given a nice surprise. Behavior accidentally leaked the next chapter's killer, Ghostface. And that's right, ladies and gentlemen, our next chapter will be a full licensed chapter, providing us the new killer, Ghostface, accompanied with survivor and location. Though there is no footage or gameplay of Ghostface, his power was revealed. Essentially, Ghostface, or the Ghost, can crouch and lean around corners to stalk survivors. During his primary power of Shrouded Hunt, the Ghost has no terror radius. His secondary power is to stalk survivors. He may give individual survivors the exposed status for a short period of time. The Ghost may also crouch freely and lean around corners while stalking those survivors. Currently, he is incomplete as the chapter is not fully made, but based on what we know, we can expect this killer to be a mix of the Shape and the Pig. The issue here is we don't know the base stats for the Ghost, so we won't know if he is slower or what his standard terror radius is, but we can expect him to be short or medium size at the least, as he looks pretty small. Shrouded Hunt is theorized to work similar to Legion's Frenzy, as in it is an activatable power that alters the character's stats, while also having a recharge rate. This leads me to believe that the killer cannot remain in this mode forever. Based on the add-ons, the idea might be to enter Shrouded Hunt, where the Ghost will try to be a peeping Tom. When he stalks enough of a single survivor, he will then expose them, and then exit the hunt and proceed to chase normally. I'm theorizing that in his normal stance he's a base killer with 115% movement speed, but slows down drastically while in Shrouded Hunt. I believe Shrouded Hunt to be the actual crouching mechanic of the Ghost, while stalking is done separately through a different button. I'm not exactly sure, but that's my best guess. Based on the power itself, I have to assume that this killer might be a little slow. I'm not sure what the benefit will be for leaning around the corners, though it is a cool idea. It seems like it may serve the purpose similar to first-person shooters or other horror games that let you lean to the side and just check out for upcoming danger. This can typically mean that there may be some form of exploits or abuse while using this leaning power. In some games, players exploit the leaning function in order to peer through walls themselves, as it can typically clip the camera into solid objects. It wasn't until recently that some developers found a way to combat this, and I'm not sure how Behavior will handle that, but I hope that they have a countermeasure to prevent the Ghost from popping his head through solid walls. Although I'm not gonna lie, that may create a whole new kind of scare factor, and I might be all for it depending if I just see the Ghost's face just pop through a wall and say hello. With the ability to crouch and no terror radius, it seems that the Ghost is designed to take up a stealth role similar to both Pig and Myers. But unlike Pig, Ghost does not seem to have a lunging ambush strike, so instead of focusing on attacking from the shadows, you're more or less stalking like Myers to create the exposed status, which then allows you to follow up with an instant down. It's an odd combination, but a welcome mix-up to something we already have. It feels like they were attempting to create a new style of play out of what we already have. It seems like we're going down the route of Leatherface compared to Hillbilly. You have Ghostface compared to Myers, maybe a little bit of Pig sprinkled on top of that. Though it is true Hillbilly is the superior killer out of both Leatherface and Hillbilly, I'll hope that they find a happy balance between Myers, the Pig, and the Ghost. Not gonna lie though, my money is on Myers remaining the superior stealth killer. So we also got a glimpse of one of the Ghostface perks, and it's pretty simple. When you hook the obsession, you gain a token. Every token reduces your terror radius while in chase. The perk alone is just another perk that will ultimately hit the gimmick pile, as it doesn't fit a killer's need. You could likely combine it with several other useless terror radius alteration perks to do something fun and different, but if you're looking for that game-changing top meta perk, this isn't one of them. The strategy behind the perk would be to initiate a chase and then you'll be given your lower terror radius. Then if your chase happens to pass by a generator where someone's working on it, you'd then try to ambush attack them by walking towards them. It's likely your terror radius would remain low for at least 5 seconds after leaving the chase you were in, since it takes that amount of time to register that that chase has finally been lost, and that should keep your terror radius relatively low. Otherwise, Ghostface isn't looking to be strong in his selection of perks, but I'm hopeful to see his power really make up for it, being unique and interesting. Depending on how they handle the leaning situation and stalking for Ghostface, we could see another iteration of the fun and spooky Myers. In other news, we do have more licensed DLC content hitting the shop as well. The pig is finally getting some additional clothing. Behavior always said that it isn't impossible that a licensed killer would get some cosmetics, but it's taken them quite a while and they finally pulled through and got some additional bits for the pig. Just a funny note about the video you are watching, this hillbilly has been T-posing the entire time, and none of the other survivors could see him T-posing. But I had to play the entire game at a handicap because I couldn't hear anything he was doing. There was no notification of revving a chainsaw, there was no swing, there's nothing, he just T-poses. So I never heard him charging the chainsaw or anything, I just got hit by it, and I was like, oh, well, that's a thing. I thought I'd just let you know it was a bit of a funny match there. Unlike the recently released patch, this upcoming information about both Ghostface and the pig are not final. Ghostface doesn't have an animation or icons and is nowhere near being completed, and the pig's cosmetics could just be tests and not actual clothing that we get to pick up. We'll have to wait and see, and we can expect to see it all in the next chapter of 2.8.0, which should release in a month and a half from this video. My thoughts on Ghostface himself is that he is an interesting killer, but I'm not honestly a Scream fanatic. I watched the movie and enjoyed the parody of Scary Movie as well. However, I'm just not a huge Ghostface fan. So having Ghostface in this game is cool, but he's not a killer I was really super excited to see. But I always felt that we also already got him through the Legion, as the Legion does do what Ghostface does as well. He stabs a lot, and I always felt that when Legion came out, it was because we were never going to get a Ghostface, and now that we have Ghostface in Legion, even though Legion got nerfed, I still feel that he is a part of the Legion group. I'm not going to complain about him making it in though. Regardless of whether I like him or not, I think adding licensed characters is a fantastic idea. The reason is it really breathes new kind of life into the game. I know a lot of people who watch my videos and play this game that came just for the shape, the nightmare, the cannibal. They heard that these characters were in and they joined our community, and I think it's fantastic that those of Ghostface may finally join us, and I openly welcome you all in. And I know some people might have problem with getting a licensed character because they don't always get cosmetics, and I know that's a little rough, but I think Dead by Daylight is one of the few unique horror games that can actually pull together one of the best horror casts, having its own unique set of killers while maintaining some of the most iconic slashers and demons from, well, all time. I can't wait to see other killers make it in, such as Jeepers Creepers. I'd love to see Chucky, even though that might not be possible. I'd like to see them get everybody. It wouldn't be a bad thing for Dead by Daylight to be the horror movie game, and I may complain about this game here and there, but I think it can bring a lot of good people together. So thank you all for watching. That really is everything I have today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and as always, good game.